Tech B Swift coming at you again. Today we're going to discuss the, I believe they call it Verus, or Verus case for the Nexus 6P. This is a quick update review. Initially when they sent this case to me, I had an issue where the bumper cutout was too small. This was one of the first production and release cases for the Nexus 6P, so I jumped on it right away. But they did have some defects, and like I said, the biggest defect was trying to plug in your Type-C USB connector. The factory OEM charger would get stuck, and it would go in, but trying to get it out was next to impossible. You basically had to yank it out. So I contacted the company. They were aware of the issue, and they quickly responded and say, hey, when we fix this problem, we'll send you a new bumper. And they did. So they sent me a new bumper. So here's a new bumper. And of course they said, thank you for your purchase. We're sorry about the inconvenience, yada, yada, yada. If you have any problems, please give us, a call. And that was very nice of them that I didn't have to fight with them. They acknowledged it was their fault, and they owned up to it, and they fixed the problem. So, jumping into it, for those who are not aware of this case, this is a two-piece outer layer case. First piece is like a bumper on the outside. As you see, the old one is on the right-hand side. You see how thin this is, how skinny this one is, and then there's a new one that they sent me. You can see that the cutout is much bigger. One thing I did notice, because they had to take some of the plastic away for the cutout, that the durability of this piece, you can feel like if I push tension on it, I can squeeze it, but it's pretty hard to squeeze. On this one, I'm not going to squeeze it, but I can really squeeze the sand with no problem. And it's because, as I say again, they took out some of the plastic, or they expanded the plastic. You make that gap bigger, and then you're gonna have more room for wiggle. So that's just how it is. So I'm very happy with this case still. Actually, I'm giving this case away. I did a contest where I was giving away several of my cases because I'm not going to use all of them in the future. So I thought, how about I give it to people that's actually reviewing, or watching my reviews and subscribing and dropping me comments and just being cool. So I gave away, I think, 4 cases, and I'm continuing to give away the other stuff that I have, just because I have a lot of stuff I need to get rid of it. After I review something, if I love it, I'm keeping it. If it's something that I can part ways with, then I'm going to give it to you, my supporters. So on the sides, you got the same exact branding. You got the exact same cutouts, layouts, so you got the button, and then you got the volume rockers. On the top, you got the exact same cutouts. They didn't change the size of the cutouts for the headphone jack. And then on the right hand side, you have nothing. So I'm going to test this puppy, and then I'm going to go to work. That's the old one. So I got my Nexus 6P, which I still absolutely freaking love. This is going to be the first phone that I think I'm going to keep for a long time. Or at least until the next one come out. So you just slap it on. Like I said, it's just a bumper. You just pop it in place. Boom, it's on there. So for those who are unfamiliar with this case, like I said, it's a two-piece case. I actually love the feeling of this case a lot. They have a nice little cutout to try to make it blend in where the camera sits at. The microphone hole in the middle is cut out perfectly. It's dead center. It does not block the laser on the camera, so that's perfect. The flash works, and then the camera cutout is perfect. The back of this is it's like textured, but it scratches easy. As you can see, I'm rubbing my finger across it, and it's getting ashy. How's my case getting ashy? No jokes in the comments, please. So I do like the case in the hand. I do like the feeling and the texture of the case, but like I said, I don't like the fact that if you scratch it or rub it a little bit, it gets like ashy. You can wash it off and it goes back to looking normal again, but it's just weird that it does that. One thing I do love about this case a lot is the fingerprint reader cutout. It fits the fingerprint reader perfectly. There's no extra room on this case. There's no wiggle around it with your finger. As soon as you drop your finger into that hole, it reads it perfectly every time. They do have the nice branding on the back, the Verus. It's a nice texture. It's actually cut into the case. It's not like a sticker or anything like that, so this is going to last. It's not going to rub off, so that's very nice. They got the nice little texture line at the bottom. So basically what they did is they made the back of the case look like the phone, which is really, really cool, and I like that a lot. As you see, again, you got the bumpers on the side, You got the headphone jack on the top, volume rockers, power works, up and down volume rocker works with no problem. Got the branding again, which is really, really nice. I don't know if you can see that. Verus Design Lab. And then you got the new updated cutout. So I got a bunch of cords over here. Let's see if I can find one that will stick. So this one, here's another type USB-C cable, and it fits perfect. And as you see, if you look in there, there's plenty of room to get your cord in and out. This is not going to be an issue like it was on the first one. So I'm very, very glad that they fixed that. Pull it in and out with no problem. It's not pulling on the case. There's plenty of wiggle room. And this has, I've tested this with multiple cases, including the factory OEM. Works no problem. USB Type-C. Even though this phone doesn't support USB Type-C to HDMI out, works with no problem. So like I said, I'm very happy with this one. I'm very happy that they solved this issue and they owned it. You know, as a company, they said, okay, we made a mistake. We're going to make it right. And I can respect people like that. That's good business. As far as the case in the hand, it feels amazing. I really, 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 really like this case a lot. This was the case that I used for the first probably week or so that I had my Nexus P, and I absolutely love this case. The only reason I consider giving it away is because of the fact that I used a unicorn beetle from Suitcase because I need the extra protection. I don't know how much protection this case is going to drop from scratches and laying it down and sitting. I think this case will do just fine. But if you ever drop this case, I'm not sure how this case will stand up. And you know, with the Nexus 6P, I didn't even buy the insurance on it because I usually don't keep my phones that long. I didn't want to take a chance. So I will say, for me, this case is 100% go. I like this case just as much as my Suitcase, my Unicorn Beetle. From aesthetics, from ergonomics, I actually prefer this case more than the Suitcase. But just the fact, I say again, that I potentially can drop this and it will cause damage to my phone because there's not much durability there. The bumper may absorb some of it, but it's still a hard plastic bumper. It's not going to absorb a lot of that shock. So anyway, please subscribe if you have any questions, you want to see any more reviews, any other products, please let me know. Like I said, I'm always happy to review stuff, and now that I got time off away from school, and I only have to focus on work and my kids and my wife, that I have free time to do case reviews. So once again, I'll be happy to do that. Tech Be Swift coming back to you again. If you have any questions, please let me know.